going to cover the Tim Walz, Nick Shirley fraud story here just a little bit. I'm really just going to give some quick thoughts on Tim Walz's response and kind of where I see this moving in the future.
Meantime, the Trump administration freezing child care payments to Minnesota as federal authorities dig deeper to root out fraud in the state.
But Democratic Governor Tim Walz is hitting back, saying the president is politicizing the issue.
Yeah, David spoke.
So we'll go forward in the clip a little bit to get Tim Walz's statement on X, or his post here. This is Trump's long game. We spent years cracking down on fraudsters. It's a serious issue, but this has been his plan all along. He's politicizing the issue to defund programs that help Minnesotans. I mean, I actually think Tim Walz, without hyperbole, is the worst politician I've ever seen. Maybe if I racked my brain, but at least the worst politician who's also prominent. There's probably some worse ones that don't get a lot of media hype, but for the intersection of popular, gets lots of media attention, he was the VP pick, he had all these wavy arm things. He's got to be the worst. Everything he does almost is insane. Maybe not insane, but it's ridiculous that a sitting governor could do such a thing. I'm just going to play this recent clip here from Libs of TikTok. Nobody ever apologized, and I'm going to give my final thoughts, but this is about a 27-second clip.
And this is what happens when they no longer hide the idea of white supremacy. When you hear the Vice President of the United States talk about now white people won't have to apologize for being white. That's never happened once in my whole damn life.
It has. I hate that idea that white people don't have to apologize for being white. That happens all the time. Literally, it happens. It explicitly has happened. I've heard it, especially on a job site, in some sort of Zoom meeting, some sort of stupid bullshit training course. I apologize. Even if people are saying it in a joking way, I've certainly heard people apologize for being white. Again, you could say they're joking, but it doesn't seem like it. And I don't think they actually deep down are joking.
We pat ourselves on the back sometimes. We pat ourselves on the back sometimes that we acknowledge we have the worst racial disparities. I understand that the privilege I've been given as a white man and the privilege of sitting in the office of governor, that privilege had better be used to not just talk about the problem, but to solve the problem.
That's apologizing. That's so disgusting. That's so offensive to a young person who's not established in their career. That's what I have a huge problem with. Even Will Ferrell, I covered in a recent video on my main channel, where he gets up there and says, women, can you run the world? I'm not trying to placate you. Men are screwing everything up, whatever.
Forget about the entertainment world. Isn't it just time? Isn't it just time for women to run the planet? I'm not just trying to placate you, I swear.
I'm paraphrasing. You can say garbage like that when you're successful, people already like you. That's very demoralizing to a guy who's 20 years old trying to make his way in the world, who doesn't have that virtue signal does nothing for him. It only makes him feel, I would argue, like shit about himself. And the final point I'm going to make here, Nick Shirley did a fantastic job. I didn't even show him in this video. Probably in the future, I'll cover that story a little bit more, but I think his work in going to Minnesota, looking for fraud, knocking on doors, asking questions, I have a feeling, and just a hunch, that we're about to see a bunch more of this all over America, hopefully all over the world, almost like in 16, 17, there was the whole Time's Up, Me Too, the whole cancel culture. There was this insatiable thirst to try to find men, particularly, also women, I guess, who were doing bad things with regard to let's cancel them. Let's look at what they said 15 years ago, some homophobic joke. Now let's cancel them. I hope that it kind of seems like there might be an incentive now for the masses to go try to find fraud, whether it be California, whether it be even in different countries, Canada, Mexico, whatever. Hopefully that'll drive views. That'll drive the clickbait stuff, I uncovered fraud in France. That would be amazing if we got some sort of cultural movement that had that same sort of fervor, that same sort of cancel culture feeling, but it was something good to try to get rid of fraud instead of like, hey, let's try to ruin this guy's career because he used the word gay in the wrong context 11 years ago. So that's just a random thought. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Maybe you don't agree, but anyway, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Have a great day.